What's up, dogs and all guys? Welcome to Week 3 NFL Pick'em contest, straight up and against the spread with your boys HarkDog25 and Fitz Canada. Fitz, as always, dominating me. How you doing, Fitz? 2 wins in a row.
I don't know if I'd say dominating, but I guess I did beat you. So yeah, let's call this week 2 because we can just pretend last week didn't happen.
Yeah, it was bad all the way around. Let's go over my results here. I was 6-10 straight up and 3-13 versus the spread. My worst week I've had in 6 years of doing pick'em games. I've never had lower than a 4. Well, I got a new low. So that brings my total to 15-17 straight up and 8-24 versus the spread. If I just went counterintuitive to what I did, I'd be 24-8 and I'd be dominating my league, but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Fitz was 6-10 last week straight up. That makes him an even 16-16 overall. He was 4-12 against the spread, one better than yours truly, and 11-21 overall versus the spread. There's not much else to say. 8-24, and I mean we're 19 and 45 combined, Fitz. Yeah, it's weird. But as I was saying, we're combined 19 and 45 versus the spread. What do you think about that?
I think we should have a third player in this race, the coin, and we'd probably be losing.
That we should bring the coin in just for the heck of it. Oh, I got a quarter. Here. Let me see here. A 1994 Liberty quarter, All-American. Okay, well, let's jump in. We'll see if we can beat the coin this week. First game Thursday night, starting about right now. So we're gonna quick get the spread of 2.5 points in favor of Houston. New England on their third QB for the season. Gronk is gonna play a limited amount of snaps. There's probably gonna be a heavy dose of LeGarrette Blount. Julian Edelman might actually throw the ball a few times tonight. But I think Houston is just a more well-rounded team. New England's due for a loss. They've been riding high with Garoppolo. I just think it's going to catch up to them. Even though they're at home, it's going to be a low-scoring, close game, defensive struggle. I'm thinking 17-14 Houston, 2017 Houston. What do you think, Fitz?
I'm going to go New England on this one to cover because I think they're going to win. So I made the mistake the first week. I mean, I learned my mistake. I bet against New England. I said, hey, backup quarterback against a really good team. There's no way. And guess what? They won. Now we're in a similar situation. Backup QB and a pretty good team in Houston. But I can't bet against Bill Belichick again until I'm proven otherwise. He showed me, you bet against me, this is what happens. So I just can't do it this week. I got to go with them. I got to think he's got something up his sleeve. Are we going to see, Edelman take a couple snaps at quarterback, some trick plays? I think we might.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, he's going to pull out some of his Sith Lord tricks this week. And Houston is going to be in for a treat tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, and we're going to flip the coin. Heads is going to be the home team, tails away team. Flipping. And it's New England for the coin. We're gonna see if we can beat the coin. Okay, let's go to the next game, the Sunday games. Buffalo at home, underdogs by 4.5 points to our Arizona Cardinals. And Buffalo's defense is just god-awful. They have no one on offense. Sammy Watkins might be back this week. He's had a little bit extra longer rest. But I don't think that's going to matter with Honey Badger and Patrick Peterson back there. I think Arizona's going to win and cover. I don't have to delve into the details. They're gonna pull a Tampa Bay on Buffalo, I think.
4.5's not a very generous spread, is it? Surprised it's not more, but yeah, that being the case, I got to go Arizona too. They look pretty darn good. And Buccaneers, it looks like they're finally playing like they should be playing, and until they have another episode like the New England disaster, let's see if they keep it rolling. I'm gonna go Arizona and cover.
All right, coin flip. Tails, it's going Arizona as well. Boy, you and the coin are
on the same page.
Yeah, you are just Is this your coin? Did I steal it from you? I don't know. But let's go to the next game. Tennessee at home, favored by 1.5 points against the Oakland Raiders. I mean, Tennessee showed something against Detroit, but also is Detroit's defense was non-existent. They can't cover any tight ends. They have allowed so many points to the tight ends. 3 touchdowns against Indianapolis. Delaney Walker had a huge game last week. Granted, Oakland doesn't have the best tight end in Clive Wolford, but he's manageable. And with Derek Carr back there, yeah, I'm just going to have to go Oakland. I think they're just an all-around better team. I don't think Tennessee just has the all-around talent, even though they got Murray and Derrick Henry there. And Oakland is a sieve. I'm still going to have to go Oakland. I just think Oakland's a little bit better in this matchup.
I hear you right. Say Tennessee is favored by a point.
1.5, actually.
1.5. All right. Well, makes up my mind. I gotta go Oakland, win and cover. I think they're the better team. I think it's pretty clear. They're 1-1, sure, but they lost to a very hot Matt Ryan-led Falcons.
Yep.
And I picked them at the start of the season to squeak in as a wild card. I'm going to stick by that because if they lose this game, that really does not look like it's going to happen. So, them to make that wild card spot, this is a must win, and I think they're going to get it done. I think it's going to be by a lot more than 1 point.
All right. And coin flip. Heads, they're going Tennessee. The coin is going Tennessee. The coin knows that the two-headed monster in that backfield with Marcus Mariota, they're going to put up some points.
We'll see.
Yes, we will. All right, next game. Miami, Cleveland. Miami favored by 10 points at home against the Cody Kessler-led Cleveland Browns that just lost Corey Coleman. Josh Gordon's not back yet. They basically don't have anybody to throw to, in my opinion, outside of Duke Johnson and Gary Barnidge, who's been non-existent in fantasy this year. I think Miami's just too strong. They're pining to get that first win. Cleveland is just a decimated franchise, even more so than they were at the start of the year. I got to go Miami. I'm not going to beat around the bush. And I think Jarvis Landry's going to have a big game. And I think they're going to run the ball pretty well with Ajayi and Drake in the backfield. Probably Drake more than Ajayi, though. So, Miami, win and cover.
So, Miami, they're 0-2. But I think a lot of people would say that they're one of the better 0-2 teams that you've seen in a while. They lost very close games to Seahawks, and then losing to, help me out here, who did they just lose to?
New England?
New England.
In
right.
New England, yep.
So, and they were close games, so not bad losses, right? But
yep.
I think it was Jarvis Landry who said this week, look, we can't be an almost team. Almost winning 2 games is the same as saying you lost 2 games, and they did that.
Yep.
And now, if you want to be the opposite of the optimists who say they look good, here's another view. You could say they lost to a team that the Rams beat. That doesn't look too good all of a sudden, does it? So I'm going to say Dolphins win, Browns cover.
All right. Browns cover. Very nice. Let's do the coin flip. All right. Heads, it's going Miami. Finally, me and the coin know what's up. Took a while.
Show them all, Cleveland. Show them all.
Yeah. Maybe if they bring up LeBron to play wide receiver, they might have a chance, in my opinion. But other than that. All right, let's go to the next game. Baltimore visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Baltimore is favored by a 0.5 point. And the level of competition that Baltimore has played has not been good this year. They played Buffalo at home, and Tyrod Taylor can't do anything on the road. And then they played Cleveland in Cleveland last week, and we all just covered what Cleveland is. Jacksonville just got throttled by San Diego. I don't know if they read the press clippings, how bad San Diego was, or San Diego just pissed off after allowing that comeback from the Chiefs.
I don't think San Diego read those either.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Jacksonville to win and cover this game. I think at home, I think they'll finally get that offense rolling. Flacco, I just don't trust that running game that they got. And I haven't seen much outside of Mike Wallace. And frankly, Dennis Pitta, who's having a resurgence the first 2 weeks. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think Jacksonville is going to win this one. I think at home, I think they finally get their first win against 2-0 Ravens.
betting against the elite Joe Flacco? How could you?
I just did.
All right, well, so am I. I gotta go with Jacksonville here. I think last week was something of a bit of a glitch in how they're going to perform this year. I don't think they're going to be losing 40 points or whatever they lost by.
Yeah, down 35-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, it was against a good team, Baltimore. They're 2-0, but they beat, like you said, they've had low-level competition. They barely beat them. They were down 20-0 against Cleveland last week.
Yeah.
Credit for the win. I mean, it's hard to come back in the NFL, but boy, it's about as unimpressive a 2-0 start as you can get.
I have to agree.
Yeah, I just like Jacksonville's upside way more than Baltimore's. So I think this week they're going to do it.
All right.
Win and cover.
Let's do the coin. Coin goes heads. Heads is Jacksonville, home team. Boy, we've gotten 4 heads and 1 tails so far. So coin is favoring the home teams. All right, let's go to the next game. Green Bay Packers. My Green Bay Packers coming off a tough loss. Tough loss in Minnesota against the Detroit Lions in Lambeau, home opener. Green Bay favored by 7.5 points. Now, Rodgers just doesn't look the same. The offense, and I did a stat with my coworker today. When Eddie Lacy gets the ball 16 times or more with Rodgers behind QB, they're 16-3. So far, these 2 games, he's gotten the ball 14 times and 12 times.
That's not enough.
Right, and it doesn't matter if he's fat Lacy or thin Lacy. This is just 16 times or more, including last year. And 16-3, which is incredible. And I've been calling I don't know what they're doing with Starks in the backfield. I don't know what they're doing bringing Cobb in the backfield. That no huddle, when they go no huddle with Starks in the backfield, it just cringes because Starks can't pass block. And he's not a good out of the backfield runner as well, and they're just not calling any screen plays. They're not making the defense think. It's like and Rodgers' throw at that last throw, that interception, he floated it out there to Adams. Granted, Adams didn't really fight for the ball, but he didn't line drive it to the sideline, lead him. He just lofted it out there. It's like, what are you doing, Rodgers? What are you doing? He's throwing off his back foot. I could rage all day. But I have Green Bay winning this game by a touchdown, which means Detroit is going to cover. So I got Green Bay winning, Detroit covering, because they're the ultimate in garbage time with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say the same as you. I've got Green Bay winning and Detroit covering. Green Bay is, well, it's concerning. I don't know if they lose this game, we might get another relax from Aaron Rodgers and maybe turn it all
Yeah,
around,
he just did that this week again. Not in the same intonation, but basically the same general words.
Yeah, well, he's going to need to do it again if they lose this game. And I think it's going to be close. Stafford, they have enough offense on that team to keep them in pretty much any game. And Green Bay's defense is not the greatest, to say the least. So I think it's going to be a tough one for Green Bay, even if they do pull it out. I think they will. So Green Bay to win, Detroit covering.
All right, let's do coin. Home team again, Green Bay.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, now, as you probably can't see, but you'll see in the video, I got my Bengals Carson Palmer jersey on in lieu of the next game. Cincinnati at home against the visiting Denver Broncos. Now, Denver is 2-0, but they've been having the luxury of playing in Mile High Stadium and against, obviously Carolina was a good team, but the O-line in Indianapolis was terrible, and it showed, especially on that pick six at the end of the game that Luck threw. Cincinnati is
that's what got the spread for me.
Yeah, Cincinnati is a more well-rounded team. They're favored by 3, and I think they're going to win and cover this game. I think Denver's going to be handed its first loss. They're on the road. It's a very tough environment. Cincy's aching for a win. Home opener because they were in New York and then Pittsburgh. So I got Cincinnati winning and covering this game.
I think it's worth pointing out when you think about it, that end of the game, turnover, touchdown for the Denver defense, if that didn't happen,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you would have had 2 correct picks against the spread last week. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I might have tied you.
Yeah. I gotta go Cincy to win and cover this week as well. I think it's gonna be electric in that stadium. First time they've seen football since that.
Yeah.
Lost that week.
That BS game.
Be able to forget.
Oh man.
And they're playing our Super Bowl champs here. And I think this week, after 2, I guess you'd have to call them successful, not overly offensive weeks for Denver, I think Simeon is going to come down to earth. I think he is going to be exposed for the inexperienced quarterback he is. I mean, for them to win, they just need him to manage the game, not make turnovers, right? He's not going to be throwing bombs against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
There's no way that's happening. The crowd going to be as loud as it is. And I just don't think he's going to be able to stay turnover free. I think the Cincy defense is going to have a big game. Their only hope for Denver, I think, is for Anderson to have a big game. And I don't think that he will. Since he lost last week to the Steelers, yeah.
Yep.
So some people might have bumped Cincy down in their power rankings, but at the same time, they put Pittsburgh at the top, right? So they just lost to potentially the best team in the NFL, according to some people.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. And they kept it close to the end. So I feel like Cincy are going to win and cover this week.
All right, we'll see what the coin thinks. The coin goes Denver.
Come on, coin.
I know. Well, that means we might be able to beat the coin if we're, as long as we don't match up on every single one of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's go next game. Carolina favored by 7 points at home against visiting Minnesota, without their QB, without their star running back, and without a couple of their defensive backs. Vikings. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Carolina looked pretty good against San Francisco. They finally just buried them there at the end of the game. I thought San Francisco was going to cover last week, and they almost did. Carolina, I think, at home is just so tough. Minnesota without AP. Jarrett McKinnon is not AP. Sam Bradford is not, well, he's not that good, but he beat the Packers. So I'm going to go Carolina to win and cover. Not going to worry too much about the intangibles and describing them in this matchup.
I got the same as you here, but more about just not quite believing in Minnesota yet. It was impressive that they beat Green Bay. Didn't see that coming, but I think a lot of that, like you explained, was Green Bay kind of imploding and a lot of questionable decisions on the offensive side of the ball. And so credit to Minnesota for, I think, being the #1 defense in the NFL right now. I don't see it being that way at the end of the season or even halfway through the season. I think things are going to turn around. Might start this week against Carolina. That offense is just too good, and they've got the defense too. I think this is going to be quite a bit more than a 1 touchdown win for Carolina.
Yes, we concur there. Coin. Let's see what the coin says. Coin says Minnesota.
All right, coin.
Minnesota has the best record over the last 34 games of covering the spread. They're 24-10, so the coin's going with the odds. All right, next game we got New York Giants at home, favored by 4.5 points against the Washington Redskins. Washington at home has just looked terrible. The Giants haven't really looked that good. They fumbled the ball so many times in that game last week that we thought was going to be an absolute shootout, and turned out to be 16-13, and they barely even won. Now 4.5 points I think is a little big. I mean, it's a division game. I think Washington's going to cover the spread. I got the Giants winning, but I got Washington covering. It might be a bad pick, but I just think Cousins is going to right the ship here. He's just got too much talent around him. And we'll see what Eli does. I mean, with all those receivers, he didn't throw a touchdown pass last week, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, one of the Giants ever won pretty well. They won 2 Super Bowls, and what has ever been pretty? They've never been a dominant team, even when they're winning. When they win, it is sloppy as hell. And I expect this will be much the same case, but I think it will be by, at least 5 points, probably a touchdown against Washington. And it's tough because I do like the Washington team, and this would make them 0-3, and there are already reports of receivers starting to question Cousins losing the locker room a little bit. And if they go 0-3, it is going to be a media circus around Washington next week. And
yeah,
it would kind of suck to see that happen. But I just like New York better right now. I really do. If they, like you said, if they can limit turnovers just a little bit, and Washington, they've got their own turnover issues as well. I think New York's going to win and cover this game. Those receivers are playing really well. Victor Cruz, Beckham, and we've got Sterling Shepard playing good.
Yeah, he's been doing well.
Just saying, this could be the year of Eli Manning going for the Big 3 Super Bowl. If they can make the playoffs, anything can happen. We know that. So, just saying.
All right, I hear you. Let's see if the coin hears you. The coin does hear you. New York Giants. The heads.
Coin believes it's going to be Eli.
Yeah, the coin does. All right, let's go to the next game. Tampa Bay favored by 5 points at home against the LA Rams. Now, the Rams have failed to score a touchdown in... The LA Rams failed to score a touchdown now in still 22 years plus 2 games. I think Tampa Bay definitely got manhandled by Arizona last week. Maybe they thought they were going to cruise in, Winston 4 touchdown passes the first week, but that was against Atlanta's defense. And they finally met a good team, and they saw what a good team does. But now they're back at home. LA's on the road. They're not in the Coliseum in LA. I think Tampa Bay is going to win and cover this game. I don't think LA is going to do much with Case Keenum. Gurley hasn't done much this year. I hope he picks it up for my fantasy team, but Tavon Austin is not living up to the money he's paid. They just have no weapons on offense. I mean, Kenny Britt is terrible. There's no good player there outside of Gurley and maybe Austin if you want to delve deep. So I think Tampa Bay is just too powerful on offense. Even with Doug Martin out, I think Sims is going to fill in well. Mike Evans, Austin Severian-Jenkins, Vincent Jackson, and that defense. They're gonna get Keenum for a couple picks, I think. So Tampa Bay would probably be a good play in fantasy. So Tampa Bay for me.
Yeah, I'm going to Tampa Bay win cover well. The spread is that big. And that Rams defense just showed that they can hold Seattle free. But
but Miami held them to 12. Remember?
Yeah, Seattle's got issues, and that's gonna be concerning coming into this week for sure.
Yep.
But Tampa Bay, I didn't have the chance to watch the game last week. I know they got destroyed. I know Winston had a really bad stat line, but apparently from people that watched the game, the people calling the game, they were actually impressed with Winston. He doesn't pout when things go wrong like certain other quarterbacks do. He shows leadership, shows poise.
Yep.
He looks at how he can fix it. He's determined. And I did see a couple of the turnovers. One of the interceptions was a perfectly good throw right off the receiver's hand, and then fix it.
Yep.
And a fumble that he had, his own running back knocked it out of his hand. So you can't just look at the stats in these games. So I'm not worried about that big loss. Good team. I think they'll come back, and Rams, they're going to be the Rams again. They won. I think it's 4 of the last 5 times in Seattle. There's something about those teams, but they're not going to be the same team. Yeah.
Okay, that's true. We'll see if the coin agrees. Tails, it's going LA Rams.
That's very bold.
It's a bold coin move. All right, next game, we're just talking about Seattle, so it's a good segue in. Seattle favored by 10 points at home against the visiting San Francisco 49ers. I'm going right off the bat. I'm going with San Fran. Seattle's offense is just non-existent. Wilson is hobbled. That running back situation is not good. Baldwin and Lockett haven't done much this year. Jimmy Graham hasn't done much. He's been hobbled. I think San Francisco is just going to hang in there. Chip Kelly's wise enough. I mean, they played a really good team last week in Carolina, but Seattle is not as good as Carolina, and they showed it last week by scoring 3 points in LA. I mean, and then fumbling away that last drive. I mean, it just was the epitome of their season so far. Luckily, they got a win in Miami, or at home against Miami. But, yeah, I'm just going to have San Francisco covering. I think Seattle still wins in CenturyLink Field. They'll probably win by a touchdown, but it won't be a blowout like some people are expecting, especially Vegas.
I'm going to start off by saying I am very impressed with them. I did not expect it to be anything more than like a 3-win team, 4-win team. But
yeah.
I could totally see them going 8, maybe 7, 9. But Seattle, it's so hard to bet for them. It's so hard to bet on how they're playing right now.
Yeah.
I think being at home, I think there's too much talent. You've got good coaching, you've got good defense, you have Russell Wilson. Surely it's going to click, right? Because if it doesn't, we're going to have another, just like Washington. If they lose this game, I know they're going to be 1-2, not 0-3 like Washington, but it's going to feel like 0-3. It's going to feel like 0-3 if they lose this game. There's going to be major questions in Seattle. Don't think that's going to happen. I think there's just too much talent on this team. I do think they will cover the number 1 seed, so I think Seattle will win and cover.
All right, Seattle winning and covering. All right. So we split on that one. Coin goes San Francisco.
All right.
Well played, Coin. Well played. All right. Next game, Kansas City at home fared by 3 points against the visiting New York Jets. Now, Kansas City was abysmal last week. They didn't do anything against that Houston offense. They put up 4 field goals. Their defense looked good, but, I mean, Houston's offense is still kind of, not the best. They're still trying to find their groove. But, man, Kansas City just looked so bad. I thought they were going to win that game. They played so well in the playoff game against Houston. It was pretty much a similar team outside of Osweiler and Fuller. But, I mean, they didn't put up many points, so I was unsure. And the Jets look great on Thursday Night Football. They're coming off a long rest. They probably traveled across the country a little bit earlier. I think the Jets are a resurging team. Forte looks like a beast in the backfield. Those receivers are so good. That offense is scary. And I think the Jets are going to win and cover this game. I just don't think Kansas City has the firepower or the defense to match up to what the Jets are going to bring into town.
This game is definitely a turning point for both of these teams. I think they both have playoff aspirations, and one of them is going to be 1-2. And if it's Kansas City, that's going to be pretty hard to climb out of if they keep losing games like this, winnable games, because in that division, Denver and Oakland, whoever wins it, they're going to have to win these games. They're going to have to get, 11 wins or so. I don't think getting 9 or 10 is going to do it in that division.
Yeah.
So Kansas City needs this one, and Jets, meanwhile, they have a chance to actually take hold of that division. I think if New England were to lose tonight and the Jets win this, the front end of the Jets' schedule is brutal. And so they can come out of that. They can come into the midway mark of the season with above 500. Like, let's say they have 5 wins by their 8th game. I think the back end of their schedule is easy enough that I could see them getting to those 10, 11 wins, which should at least get them a wild card spot if they don't win the division over New England. So I think this game, I do think the Jets win and cover. I don't know what happened in Kansas City. I was so impressed with the comeback against San Diego, and then just essentially lay an egg last week. Like, it was brutal. I don't know what their offense is doing. They've got so much talent, but it's just not clicking, and everything seems to be clicking. Jets, so I gotta go with them right now. Jets.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go with the coin, and it's heads. They're gonna go Kansas City. I don't know what the coin's thinking.
Come on, coin.
All right. Let's zoom through these last 4 games here. We got Indianapolis fared by 3 points at home against San Diego. Indianapolis doesn't have a defense, but I mean, they're at home. San Diego doesn't really have much of an offense outside of Travis Benjamin now, and Melvin Gordon. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think there's going to be a lot of fantasy implications in this game. I think Luck's going to get them off the schneid and give them their first win. I think they just got the home field advantage, basically. And San Diego coming off a big win, I mean, albeit against Jacksonville. I just don't think there's going to be a repeat performance. I think it's going to be more of a letdown for San Diego and an upswing for Indianapolis.
Yeah. Both weeks, been impressed with them. It is impressive that you can lose lead like they did in week 1, but still they got the lead in the first place, so they're scoring. And I think Jacksonville, I think their defense is better than Indianapolis. I think overall, I think Jacksonville is a better team than Indianapolis. Sure, Andrew Luck is Andrew Luck. He can win any game, but that team is bad enough that they can lose any game. And I just think so far San Diego's been more consistent this year, so I'm taking them to win and cover.
Going with a hot hand, fair enough. Coin. Also going with a hot hand, San Diego. Well done, Coin. Well done.
All over the place this week.
The coin is. It's pretty much evening out now as far as heads and tails. That's funny. Next game, Philadelphia at home. Underdogs by 5.5 points against Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Carson Wentz has faced a total of Cleveland Browns and Chicago, which is pretty much Division 1A teams compared to the NFL. And everybody's like, oh, Carson Wentz, he's the second coming of Luck. He hasn't played anybody yet. And this week, he's going to get kicked to the mouth as the Steelers come into town. D'Angelo Williams going to have a big game. Antonio Brown, big game. And Big Ben, big game. So I think Pittsburgh's going to win and cover this one, at least by 10 points.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh winning and covering too. I do really like Carson Wentz. I know he's going to get poor opponents, to say the least, but I think he's shown some really good things. It's not all about how much yards he put up. He hasn't put up that many yards, but he's got good poise, making nice throws, pretty good decision making. I think going forward, he could definitely be a franchise guy for them. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, they're just too good a team. D'Angelo Williams has been amazing. I don't know how he could be that good at his age, but he has been. And when Le'Veon Bell comes back, it'd be a crime if he just takes the starting job from Williams. I think you gotta let Williams keep that starting job for sure. The way he's been playing, you can't take that away from him. So if you got Bell in fantasy, don't get your hopes too high until Williams slows down. That's his job, and he's not losing it. And he's gonna play big this week. Steelers are gonna win cover.
All right, let's go coin. Coin says Philly.
Old.
The coin is contradictory. All right, let's go next game. Dallas at home fair by 4.5 points against the visiting Chicago Bears. Cutler's out. They don't have much on offense. I mean, Kevin White's in there, Alshon Jeffrey, but who's going to throw in the ball? Jeremy Langford is not the second coming of Matt Forte. Dallas at home. I know it's 4.5 points, but Dak looked good against Washington. That run game looked good, scoring a couple touchdowns and getting that pick there at the end to seal the game against Cousins. I think you're getting a couple picks on Brian Hoyer. I think Dallas is going to win and cover. I'm not going to beat around the bush on this one. Chicago is just a team that is turning into a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, Dallas winning cover. It's not even about Dallas. It really is just against Chicago. I have learned my lesson last week after that. Watching that game was just brutal. I think it's going to be quite some time before I can pick Chicago to cover against anybody until they can prove that they can do it. So until I'm wrong betting against them, I think I'm just going to keep betting against them. So this week, Dallas, it's your win.
All right, that's what I like to hear. We concur, and the coin concurs. A little Dallas action as well. So, and then that brings us to the Monday night game, the shootout of all shootouts. Well, at least we said that last week for the Saints and the Giants. The Saints at home against Atlanta. Now, Drew Brees is a completely different entity at home. We know that. Their winning record is much higher. Brees throws for more touchdowns, more yards, and ultimately has more fun, it looks like. Atlanta just is a bad secondary. Matt Ryan and Julio are a great hookup. Matt Ryan definitely stepped up last week in Oakland. But I think New Orleans is just going to outscore them with Brandon Cooks. I'm blanking. Willie Snead. Yeah. And maybe Kobe Fleener actually catch a pass this week. Who knows? But I think New Orleans is going to win. Atlanta is going to put up a lot of points. This game is going to be like 35-31. And I'm hoping that Brandon Cooks catches all the touchdowns along with Julio Jones. So I got New Orleans winning and covering on Monday night. And what do you think, Fitz?
Whatever happened to Marcus Colston? Is he still on the team? He retired or what?
I think he finally retired. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, they got good receivers. The team got Drew Brees.
Yep.
I think they're gonna win and cover. You know, Atlanta's been impressive. I can't believe I got Matt Ryan off the waivers.
Wow, nice.
I'm a one-point quarterback for 2 weeks. I'm starting him this week for sure. I just against the Saints defense, how could you not? So,
Yep.
I'm hoping it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I do think the Saints are going to score more, so we'll cover.
All right, that's the coin. We'll go with the Saints as well. That away coin. Coin picking 10 home teams to 6 away. Not bad.
Pretty,
all right.
pretty good balance.
It is a good balance. It's a good balance. I think it's going to be a better week, I think, for both of us, and hopefully we do beat the coin. I went back to my old winnability index this week and actually worked out to try and bring myself up a little bit instead of just picking randomly like I did the first 2 weeks.
Use the winnability index for sure.
Yeah, it was good. It was good in the past. It never won me a championship, but it also didn't cost me one either. And I am costing myself one early on here. So, okay, well, those are the picks. Leave your picks if you want in the comments below, straight up and against the spread. The spreads will be in the video as well. And see if you can beat us. It won't be that hard if we just keep going the way we're going. So, good luck. Anything else, Fitz?
I just hope that we get more than 3 and 4 this week. That was pretty bad, impressively bad. I mean, really, it's just as difficult to only lose 3 and 4 games. Really, it's the same deal, right? So, but that's kind of impressive. We won it.
Yeah, it's like catching fish that are small. Their mouths are smaller, so it takes more skill, you know?
That's right.
Okay, well, we'll see y'all next week, and have fun, and good luck in fantasy if you're playing. Take care.